True crime TV shows have been on air worldwide for decades. TV news magazines such as editions of Crime Watch are especially popular. After the rise of the web series BuzzFeed Unsolved and the Netflix documentary Making a Murderer, the true crime genre has become a YouTube sensation.
My interest is piqued.
Georgia Marie, Kendall Ray, and Eleanor Neal are just some of the channels with the focus on true crime and unsolved mysteries. In this video, I will analyze the elements of sound and narration in the true crime YouTube genre that are similar to established true crime TV shows. As other televised reality shows, true crime TV shows often follow a narrative structure of exposition, climax, and resolution. The introduction explains the setting of the case and the general information.
Up next, a young woman's missing and someone has stolen her identity.
The climax happens when we hear about a major twist in the case.
She got out the car, and the neighbors heard them two arguing. The next thing they know, they heard these gunshots.
And the conclusion summarizes the episode.
Well, we've already had some encouraging calls relating to that tragic Essex fire where Dr. Shakur's wife and children were murdered. We've had 3 possible names.
YouTube crime videos rarely follow this narrative structure explicitly. They often have straightforward linear narratives of explaining the case from beginning to end, with little emphasis on rising action and climax. What is different is that the true crime YouTubers often bring up personal opinions and own interpretations. Author Caroline Crampton also argues that the true crime genre in social media is often too subjective. This can be through putting themselves in the victim's shoes.
I feel like if I was ever captive, I'd feel so much better if I had my cat Lily with me or any of my pets, because you don't feel alone.
Their thoughts on the case.
But he was let out on parole in 1969, which in my opinion is disgusting.
And even their own hypothesis of the unsolved case. This is rarely seen in true crime TV shows, as the show is often hosted by crime specialists, focusing on evidence rather than probabilities. New Statesman journalist Amelia Tate questions the ethics of what she calls amateur detectives on YouTube. It can be argued that YouTubers' personal opinions can convince their audience to believe the same conspiracy and thus lead to spread misinformation of a case they don't know every aspect of. On YouTube, there are also critical vloggumentary-style true crime videos. YouTubers like Kendall Ray and Sara Höjdahl have vlogumentaries where they meet victims, suspects, and their families to draw attention to a case. The narrative structure follows a similar technique to true crime TV shows, as they have an exposition, climax, and a resolution. YouTubers and victims often criticize the police's lack of role in a case and want justice.
They didn't do any type of real investigation.
This aspect is interesting since the established true crime TV shows are hosted by experts and thus face little critique in the TV show. Although many true crime shows are mostly objective, Laura Jane Turner from Digital Spy argues that some true crime TV shows often have an angle in favor of one suspect rather than another. They don't always show all angles in a case by leaving out interviews with specific witnesses or family members, which can be interpreted as a strategy on their part. In YouTube vlogumentaries, they show a different take on the case and can therefore give the case and the role of the police a nuanced view, despite some YouTubers being more subjective than others. One element found in many true crime YouTube videos is the use of an eerie soundtrack. YouTubers Kendall Ray and Georgia Marie use the same uncanny background soundtrack in most of their videos. This sets the scene of the serious topic they are discussing.
They were watching TV and they told her that they think she is pregnant. At this point, she was already 4 months pregnant with her first child at age 13.
The opening credits of true crime TV shows have a similar soundtrack which also occurs throughout the program when listing the cases covered for the day and during the conclusion of an episode.
But he suddenly becomes very decisive as he grabs it and runs out.
Due to the serious topic that's debated, the tone of voice is also soft-spoken and serious in the true crime shows. Media scholar Lex Griffiths argues that their authoritarian role and tone in the show is important to encourage the audience's trust and willingness to confess information and tips in the case.
Asking for witnesses to the shooting of 37-year-old Lee Erdman.
Legal terms and expressions that not all audiences can relate to are also used. YouTubers use the same serious tone of voice, but they don't sound as strict and formal as in true crime shows. Some YouTubers also use lighthearted humor to appeal to their audiences.
Pretty much the story is, guy found dead on the beach, and hold on, it gets fucking weird.
and simplify their vocabulary so people can better understand and relate to what's being said.
If you don't know what a Jane Doe case is, it's basically where police find a body of a probably murdered victim and they cannot identify the body.
According to researcher Ksenia Dmitrieva, the line between news and entertainment regarding crime is often blurred.
These cases aren't here for your entertainment purposes. At the end of the day, we're talking about missing people, dead people.
Similarly, sociology scholars Lisa Cord Butler and Kelly Sittner Harson argues that although true crime shows portray real events, elements of reenactment, dramatic narration, and music is added for dramatic effect. The use of soundtrack adds a suspenseful feeling as if you're watching a movie. Televised true crime is great for learning the pure facts about a case, but the dramatic elements such as soundtrack can also provide a sense of entertainment. True crime YouTube videos provides important information on a smaller scale and entertains you at the same time.